Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari पश्चात्यते सतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वर का परम कृष्ण का सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादि राधि गोविंद का सर्व कारण कारणम। ओम तत्सत। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the king of knowledge, Raja Vidya. By Krishna's causeless mercy, now we are successfully studying in the 13th chapter, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. We have understood about Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya, and also now we are studying about Purusha, and we also understood about Prakriti, which we are going to study at length also in the next chapter, that is 14th chapter, the three modes of material nature. So, by understanding all these things, which we can understand only from Bhagavad Gita, not from anywhere else, even though Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chantopigi Vividaiki Pratakti Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva Hetumad Vinishchitai. So the rishis in many songs, they have in many Vedic hymns and Brahma Sutra, they have explained all those things. But still for us in this Kali Yuga, so we just need directly from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He gives us everything what we need. Sakshat Kadayataka Swayam. That's what is very important. Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kadayataka Swayam. That's what Sanjaya told at the end. Vyasa Prasada Shutavan Yetat Kuhyam Aham Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kadayataga Swayam. So by the mercy of Vyasa, I was able to hear Vyasa Prasada Shutavan Yetat Kuhyam Aham Param. So I was able to hear this topmost confidential knowledge directly from the master of mystics, the Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishna, Sakshat Kadayataga Swam. Directly he himself explained, he himself was teaching Kadayataga Swayam. So when we get directly from Krishna, we don't need anything else. And Krishna also teaching us, giving us this knowledge very clearly, directly and very clearly. When Krishna says, Manasamyamya Machitho, there is no need for any interpretation. Krishna says that control your mind by thinking about me. That's it. How difficult it is to understand. What kind of interpretation is needed to understand? It's just straightforward. Just Krishna is giving us the message very clearly. Yukta asita matparak. That's it. So keeping me as the final destination, Matparagam, Yukta Asita, engaged in serving me. That's it. Keeping me as the ultimate destination. So just always think of me and control your mind. Because mind is not going to sit in one place. It's by nature, mind is chanchalam. It is restless. But if we don't conquer our mind, if we don't control, if we don't conquer our mind, then it's going to be our enemy. If we do that, if we control it, then it will be our best friend. Bandhuratma tatmanastasya yenatmaiva atmanajita. Yenatmaiva atmanajita. Anatmanasya satrutve vattetatmaiva satruvatu. So bandhuratma atmanastasya yenatmaiva atmanajita. Anatmanasya satrutve vattetatmaiva satruvatu. Uddaret atman atmanam natmanam avasadaye atmaiva atmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmanagam. So one must elevate oneself with the help of this mind, should not degrade himself. Uddaret atman atmanam natmanam avasadaye. Because mind is the friend as well as enemy. So that's what Krishna is saying. If we control our mind, then mind will become our best friend. For that, we need knowledge. Jitatmanaga prasantasya paramatma samahitaga sitoshana sukha dukkeshu tata mana apamane. So when we control our mind, jitatmanaga, then it will become very peaceful. Prasantasya. So jitatmanaga prasantasya paramatma samahitaga. So we will at that point of time attain Paramatma, the Supreme Lord Paramatma, the Super Soul, Paramatma Samahita. Sitoshana Sukha Dukkesu Tata Mana Apamanu. At that point of time, heat and cold, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor, they are all same. Sitoshana Sukha Dukkesu Tata Mana Apamanu. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vichittendriyaga Yukta Ituchate Yogi Samalostasma Kanchana. So that's what will happen. Jnana Vijnana Triptat. So if we are satisfied with our knowledge, Kutasto Vichittendriyaga. So that way we can actually be situated at a very higher platform where we have conquered our mind. So, Yukta Ituchate Yogi. So, at that point of time, we are able to properly engage ourselves in Krishna's service. So, that's why we will become Yogi. Yukta Ituchate Yogi. Samalostasma Kanchanaga. So, at that point of time, for us, all stones, pebbles, and gold, everything will be the same. We don't differentiate between all these things. Because everything is made up of matter. So it doesn't matter for us in this material way. We should not be attached to anything. We should not be thinking about anything. We need to be thinking only about Krishna all the time. 24/7, that's what is needed. Materially speaking, whatever we need, we will achieve it. We will get it because Krishna is giving it to us. Krishna wants to take care of us. When Krishna wants to give it to us, we don't have to struggle at all. There is no point in worrying about it. No point in lamenting about it. No point in struggling hard. Because Krishna wants us to enjoy only. Krishna doesn't want us to suffer at all, either here in this material world or in the spiritual world. All the time Krishna wants us to be happy. But we are struggling, we are suffering because we are not listening to Krishna. That's the only reason. Even though Krishna wants to help us, Krishna wants to save us from this material world. But if we don't want to listen to Krishna, if we just keep doing everything as if we know everything, And because of ahankara, because of false prestige, false ego, so we are simply committing sins after sins and binding ourselves to this material world and struggling and suffering in this material world is purely because of our ignorance, because of not listening to Krishna. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. If anyone is suffering in this material world, that's the only reason, because we are not listening to Krishna. If we take help from Krishna, then immediately our miseries are gone. That's it. By Krishna's mercy, our miseries will be gone. That's it. So we need mercy, Krishna's mercy, prasadam, costless mercy. So when mercy is there, miseries are gone. That's what we are getting right now with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Because we are able to understand about ourselves, we are able to listen to Krishna, we are able to develop attachment on Krishna. We can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can sing Krishna's kirtans, and we can glorify Krishna, we can remember Krishna, we can think about Krishna, we can do everything for Krishna. So that way, this life is meant only to please Krishna, because at the time of death, we have to remember only Krishna. Not anything else in this material world. There is no point in remembering anything, because everything is transient here. Everything is unsteady, changing. Everything there is changing. Only the soul, that is ourself, is not changing. Avikar. So, avyaktoyam, achintoyam, avikaryoyam uchyate. That's what is the soul. The soul is avyaktoyam. It is unmanifested. It's beyond the perception of senses. And it's beyond, it's inconceivable. That's what achintoyam. Avyaktoyam, achintoyam, avikaryoyam uchyate. So it's changeless. It doesn't undergo any change. Avikaryoyam uchyate. That is our self. That is the soul. We are here forever. We are here in the sense the soul is there all the time. But we should not be here in this material world forever. That's not good for ourselves. We should get out of this material world and go to Golok. And the time is now to act. We need to act immediately. And Krishna is constantly giving us all what we need, all the resources. Everything Krishna is giving us. Especially we are studying this Bhagavad Gita, means that itself is 1 in 1,000. So that's what we are getting it. We are getting this opportunity to understand every sloka. And that means we are already devotees of Krishna. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita so many times, that my bhakta. So that's what. So we are becoming Krishna's devotees. We are with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we are definitely, we have no doubt that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We have no doubt that Bhagavad Gita is the king of knowledge. So we have full faith on this Bhagavad Gita. We don't envy Krishna at all. So that way we are able to get Krishna himself. So that way, Krishna's causeless mercy, we are able to get peace of mind. So that peace of mind comes when our mind is not disturbed. But in this material world, nobody can be peaceful. When we don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we don't develop attachment on Krishna, if we are simply very greedy and going after everything in this material world, lust, greed, anger, they are all gateways to hell. Only a devotee of Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by developing attachment on Krishna, we don't have to think about anything in this material world. So that way there is no room for greediness, no room for anything. So attachment. So our mind should be engaged, our mind should be busy all the time, only serving Krishna. Knowing very well that everything else is temporary in this material world. Everything else. That's why Krishna says that Vivikta Desa Sevitvam Aratigi Jana Samsadi. That's what is called knowledge. So Vivikta Desa Sevitvam. So one should live in a solitary place. Aratigi Jana Samsadi. One should avoid the general mass of people. So that's how our life should be. We should not be disturbed by anything which is happening in this material world. So that means we should not be even focusing our mind on anything in this material world. So we should simply focus our mind only on Krishna. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we'll be able to lead a meaningful life. So Bhagavad Gita is the answer for all our problems. It's a solution manual, Bhagavad Gita. So we are very fortunate that we are not stopping at all. We are, even though we finish the entire Bhagavad Gita and again we will study, because every time, even though we study the same sloka, even though we repeat the same sloka again and again, we are never ever bored. Because this is the knowledge what we are getting. And now we have got the opportunity to spread the Krishna's message and identify many devotees. So that's what we should be focusing. We should be thinking about how can we bring more devotees to our Bhagavad Gita class? How can we identify devotees? So that process is very important. Identification of devotees and giving them this knowledge. So for that, we just have to wish. That's it. We just have to desire. That's it. Just desire to please Krishna. Then we can see that everything is happening as if we are doing it. Because Krishna is making us, Krishna is giving us all the opportunities to please Him. That's it. So whatever we desire for Krishna, it will happen. Whereas in this material world, materialistic persons, they will have all kinds of desires. It seems that it may be happening for someone, but that's not going to be permanent. And also there is always ups and downs in this material world. So like happiness and distress are like winter and summer seasons. So when we are like focusing on material sense objects, material results, so that way we will go through, that's what Saddasat Yoni Janmasu. That's what Krishna says. Karanam Guna Sangosha Saddasat Yoni Janmasu. That's what will happen in this material world. There is nothing like a permanent success. So the so-called success in this material life is actually not real success. It's a real bondage in this material world. If we think that we are performing very nicely materially and we are gaining a lot of money, a lot of assets, and if we think that we are great, but if you are not a devotee of Krishna, if you are not able to serve Krishna, if you are not able to use all the resources in Krishna's service, so then that means it is not good. It's of no use. Whatever we gain in this material world, it's of no use at all. So anything we want to gain, even materially speaking, it should be only for Krishna. That's what we need to understand. All the energy, power, skills, whatever we gain, whatever we have, we have to use it only in Krishna's service. Only to please Krishna. So that way only in spreading Krishna's message. That's the main thing. That's the only service we should think about. Spreading Bhagavad Gita, making devotees everywhere, and giving them this knowledge. So that's the only service we should be thinking about. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, now we are successfully studying in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Nature, Enjoyer, and Consciousness. So in the sloka number 24, we studied, Krishna said, Evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha Sarvata vartamanopi nasabuyo abhijayate. So, evam veti purusham, anyone who knows about Purusha, that is the Supreme Lord, Purushottama, Krishna, and Prakriti, and the Gunas, and the three modes of material nature. So, even though He is engaged in all kinds of activities. Sarvata Vartamanopi. Nasabuyo Abhijayate. He is not going to come back again to this material world. That's what Krishna is teaching. So now we know, now we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We understand about Prakriti. We understand about the three modes of material nature. So that means we are not going to come back to this material world. So it's definitely going to happen by Krishna's mercy. So one who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Then in the next sloka, Krishna is teaching us in the sloka number 25, what we studied yesterday. Dhyanenatmani pasyanti kechit atmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. So, understanding about Krishna, the Supreme Lord, Super Soul. So, it is possible by purely by meditation. So, Dhyanin Atmani Pasyanti. So, Kechit Atman Atmana. So, we can see Krishna, the Super Soul, within ourselves with the help of dhyana. So, meditation by focusing our mind on Krishna. And Anye Sankhena Yogena. And others simply by the virtue of getting the knowledge. And also some others simply by performing karma yoga. So that means not having any attachment to the results and giving up the attachment to the results and doing everything. So that's what is called karma yoga. So some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without fruitive desires. Then in the sloka what we are studying today, in the sloka number 26, Anye tvevam ajanantaga shuttvanyebhya upasate tepi chati tarantyeva mrityum shruti parayana. So others, Anye, so those who have no knowledge about all these things, but simply they worship me by hearing about me. That's what Shrutvan Ebhya Upasate. So just by hearing about Krishna, that's why we need to spread this message. We need to give this message that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So just by believing in that, even though they don't have the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, but if they have simply faith on Krishna and start worshipping Krishna by accepting Krishna as the Supreme Lord, so they will also tepi cha atitaranteva mrityu. So they will also be conquer death. So by simply because they have the tendency to hear, so they are inclined to hearing about this. So Shruti Parayana. So that's what is very important. So we are interested in hearing about Krishna. We have faith on Krishna. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. So we are gaining the knowledge. We are understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and we are simply going to go to Goloka. So again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 26 slokas in the 13th chapter. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna ki namata
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mother.
Thank you so much, Guruji, for today's class.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mother. Ipsa Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for this class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna. Subir Mishra Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, no question Guruji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. Mohan Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam Prabhu, Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much for the class, Guruji. Yesterday I couldn't attend the class somehow.
Yes,
Today you repeated that sloga. Understood the sloga. Thank you so much, Guruji. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Guruji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Satyendra Singh Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Pralam.
Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
I enjoyed the class really.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Pralam.
Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
I enjoyed the class. You have said there is no peace if the mind is unstable, and peace can be achieved by only remembering Krishna.
Yes,
That is an interesting point you have emphasized. Everybody needs peace, but he cannot get. One
Yes.
cannot get. Only this is only the way, and
Yes.
you are helping us in that goal. Thank you, Guruji, for a wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Thank you
Hare
very much for the class, Guruji. Yesterday I could also not attend. I had a function to go to. Could not attend. Thank you very much for the class, Guruji. As Satyendra Singh Prabhu said, every day you are keeping us, reminding us not to, forget Krishna in spite of all the other material
Yes,
world that we are living in, and
Exactly.
keep that as the only goal.
Only God. Yes, ma'am.
And to think only about Krishna as the only goal. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji. Hare Krishna. Palniappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today's class also is really more interesting
Yes,
in
Prabhu.
the sense that in this material world, soul is the only thing which is changeless. That's a very important point. Many times you may but still to remember that soul is the. That means, as once Sumati Mataji told that I'm seeing all the people as a soul and Krishna only. Whoever I meet, same way. Soul is we are seeing in this world, material world, really soul. Souls only we are seeing. That way we have to think really if you want to think Krishna. It's a very interesting thing which you explained today, and the sloga also, as you said, even the people who remember Krishna by hearing also can go to Krishna, can go to Krishna.
Yes.
That's a very interesting thing that today's sloga says. So both are very interesting. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
Vrinda Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class, Guruji. Very nice to know that Krishna is with us all the time. We have to just connect with him within us only, Guruji.
That's good.
See him as the super soul, because every aspect of our life is so connected. Even the person opposite us is actually a soul.
Yes.
And what you always keep saying, spread the word, let others know, because we have to help the other person also connect to Krishna if he is not already connected.
Yes.
That is the greatest good work we can do, Guruji.
Yes. Yes. Ma'am.
Yes, Guruji. Trying to tell other people about our class, spread the word. Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much for helping us all this time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kadiraman Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Today's class, wonderful class, Guruji. No doubts and well understanding. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sunil Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Dandavad Pranam Guruji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram. Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Pranam Guruji.
Listen to Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.